first off, thanks for having me. Again, my name is Lenz, and the head of environment and sustainability for Waymo. I've been at the company for a few years now, and really happy to be here. So, also happy belated Earth Day to all of you. Hope you had a good Earth Day weekend. There we go. Yes, I hope you all got outside, got dirty, got your hands and stuff, and cleaned up, or whatever you do on Earth Day. So, that being said, we're going to cover a presentation today. It's going to be 2 parts. First part's going to be a nice intro to Waymo for those of you that aren't familiar. And then the second part, we're going to dive into sustainability, which is my area of expertise. So you will see a little bit of me fumbling around talking about Waymo and the driver and all this stuff. And full disclosure, my background is not in software engineering. I'm a chemist and economist. So with that, let's go into it. So our mission is to get people and things to where they need to go. Waymo stands for a new way forward in mobility. So we think that autonomous driving technology holds the promise to improve roadway safety and to improve mobility for millions of people out there. So we're really excited about that potential. From a sustainability angle, I think it has the promise to increase EV access to millions as well. So that's what I'm really excited to talk to you all about today. So, a little bit about Waymo. First off, how many of you have the app on your phone or have taken a ride in Waymo? Okay, good. Show of hands here, but my goal, my shameless plug, is for everyone to pull out your phone and download the app today. So there's no reason not to. So you can get it at the Apple Store, Google Play Store, and that's the first step to connecting with Waymo and getting to where you need to go in one of our cars. And really that's where it all began. So the experience is very similar to ride-hailing services that you have had before, from getting a ride. The idea is that we're bringing the car to your curb. So we'll get you up there and solve everything else. So, moving ahead. You might be wondering, great, I'll download the app, where can I take a ride? So we're operating in a few areas right now. The first area that we launched in for public riders was in East Valley, so in the Chandler area. We've been operating there for a few years now, and really excited about the progress we've made there, and that being our first kind of launching point of public service. We've also been operating in San Francisco, so imagine very dense and complex streets, very exciting ride-hailing service there as well. And then recently we added downtown Phoenix as well in the last year or so. So you'll see our cars cruising around downtown area. I love this graphic just because it shows like our vehicles different times of day, 24/7 service, just operating on streets next to bicyclists in complex situations, and that's really what we're trying to build. So we also announced that our next city will be Los Angeles. So last year we announced that Los Angeles would be our third ride-hailing market. So we're really excited about that. We have cars there testing, doing what we call rider-only testing, which means that there's not a safety specialist in the front seat. So we're doing that now in Los Angeles as well. Really excited about the potential to provide mobility options for Manila. So why do we need autonomous driving tech? So these statistics are pretty bleak. There's a lot of, there's just tremendous opportunities to improve roadway safety. There's 50 million injuries across the world from vehicle crashes. There's 1.35 deaths annually. Driving can be a much safer thing, and that's really what we're aiming to deliver as far as our technology and our service. So we're trying to build the world's safest and most experienced drivers. And from a sustainability angle, it's important to call out that a lot of these crashes, and they disproportionately impact vulnerable groups. And that really is bikers, pedestrians, motorcyclists, and someone that bikes and walks regularly in my community. We want to improve those options. We need to move towards sustainable communities and towards sustainable transportation modes. And the most sustainable transportation mode is by far walking and biking. So really want to call that out and make sure that we're continuing to think about all different angles here. In the U.S., we experience fortunately 40,000 deaths annually from car crashes, or over 40,000 depending on the year. And this last year, deaths for bicyclists increased by 8%, deaths for pedestrians increased by 2% again. So not great statistics, these are bleak, but again, it just shows a little bit of the impact we can have with the world's safest driver. So that's what we're shooting for here. One common theme I will say from a lot of these outcomes is that a lot of the reasons behind crashes are from human error or from human choice. So this goes without being said that autonomous driving technology, it doesn't get drowsy, it doesn't drain, it doesn't have any sort of issues with the road that human drivers might have. I can vouch for being an extremely patient driver. It will wait its turn, and we're really proud of that experience when you're in the car, knowing that it's going to be a safe ride where you need to go. So moving on, what is the Waymo driver? Waymo driver is a combination of hardware and software. So if it's in our cars around town, and on the hardware side, it's a combination of LiDAR, radar, and cameras. So sometimes you'll see things spinning around the car. Those are LiDARs that are very similar to the sense of touch. So the sensor suite has the ability to detect things up to 300 feet away, 300 yards away, and day or night, and it's able to create 360-degree three-dimensional map of the area. So this is the 5th generation of our driving technology that we see on our Jaguar I-Paces around town today. And we take our drivers seriously and continue to improve the software. So what is the software? Well, the software does a few things, right? It does what any normal human driver would do. And we like to describe this as like 4 steps of, first up, where I am. So it uses maps to detect, where it is in the environment, and we use maps, of course, to map out the surface area beforehand, so we know exactly where we are. It then senses what's around me, so it uses a combination of all those tools to place objects and determine what's around it, and then it really tries to use a machine learning statistics and decide what's likely to happen. Right? How do we safely navigate and predict where different things are going to move? And that's for all objects on the road, whether or not they have the right of way or not. So we have instances, for instance, the car detecting a high probability of a car shooting and running a red light while we have those. And then next it determines what the car should do. So it really uses the hardware suite, software suite, puts it all together, and determines the safest course outcome from it. That's really when we describe the Waymo driver, it's that combination of those two things that we can deploy onto different vehicles. So, and again, as far as our ability to continue to improve this experience and continue to improve our driver, we've been at this for some time now. It's great to be at Startup Week. We started as a startup inside of Google in 2009. So that was actually something that we started through the Dark Grand Challenge, which was a Department of Defense robotics challenge back in 2005. So lots of interest for a long time in autonomous vehicle technology. So we've done 20 million miles on roadways, 20 billion in simulation, and we recently published a paper of we're really proud of, our 1 million mile rider-only mark. So again, that means that there's not a safety specialist in the front seat. These are fully driverless miles. We've done 1 million now, and we had 0 reported injuries in that 1 million miles. So we think that's a really significant achievement. Again, we've been at this for some time, so we've done everything very incrementally and deploying our technology. You probably witnessed that firsthand, and we've been doing this for some time, and there aren't a million Waymos in peaks. So again, we're going to continue to take a incremental approach to it. So to shift gears a little bit and talk about our history as a company from a fleet perspective. Again, we started in 2009 inside Google, and in 2011 we started building our software, our hardware, and we recognized that there really weren't a ton of options out there for us. Like there was radar on the market, for instance, but it was only forward-looking. It wasn't like looking behind the vehicle. So we decided that we wanted to pursue full autonomous driving technology that made us solve for our needs. So we started doing that. In 2015, many of you remember the Google Firefly, which is the cute car on the bottom right. We started offering fully autonomous rides at that time to employees doing those rides with the prototype. Learning a lot from that in the Bay Area and in Austin. So really proud of that history, and you can see some interesting learnings from that continue to be applied over there. So just to fast forward a little bit into our fleet, I'm skipping a couple of years here, but in 2017, we introduced the plug-in hybrid, the Chrysler Pacifica, that many of you have seen in East Valley and Chandler for some time. And that's something that we're actually saying goodbye to this month. So those vehicles are being retired, and we participated in the White House EV Accelerator Challenge. I'm really proud of that. And those vehicles will be retired. So we're now working on the recycling of those vehicles and transitioning to our next fleet of Jaguar I-Paces, which is an all-electric vehicle. And that's the vehicle that's currently deployed in San Francisco and down in Phoenix. So our entire fleet operations, we switch over to that. Again, that's our fifth generation driving technology. And then lastly, we announced a partnership last year with Seeker, who's another EV manufacturer, to build a purpose-built car that doesn't have a steering wheel in the front seat. It's designed for riders first. So imagine a great cabin interior experience and a little bit more room and just a big design for driving technology. So I'm really excited for that. Next step. So now we're going to switch gears a little bit and talk about our sustainability work, which is more of what I do day to day. And our mission here really is to connect communities with the benefits of shared autonomous electric vehicles. So we're going to get into a little bit of the economics of electric vehicles and access and things like that. Before we jump into it, I have loved the presentation for me today talking about batteries and sustainability and a lot of the public health opportunities that are out there and economic and all these things. And I think it's really interesting to see this intersection of perspectives coming out from different industries, whether it be farming or from battery technology companies and things like that. So hopefully there's some consistent themes here as well. But our strategy is simple, threefold. We want to increase access to EVs. We want to power them with renewable energy, and we want to share them. We're going to drive efficiency and utilization of those assets. So it's pretty simple. I'm a simple person. I like to keep the strategy simple and delivering that. So start off with EV access. Many people, and I should preface this with, EVs are fantastic. They're wonderful. And we're seeing a lot of exciting news right now with electric vehicles in the country. OEMs are continuing to share new models. Consumers are continuing to adopt electric vehicles. We've seen sales go up. We've seen more incentives. We've seen what seems to be a critical mass of going for electric vehicles now that will be, it really is a part of history of switching over to a different platform for electric vehicles. So it's very exciting. That being said, electric vehicles are awesome when you have the consumer confidence to buy one, when you have the charging solution at home, and when you're able to afford it. So there's many different access points that we as riders may not check all three of those. And the fact of the matter in some ways is that the average EV price last month was, the sales price was $58,000. So again, I love electric vehicles. I continue to research and look at them personally and professionally, and I think they're wonderful. But there are real access issues with electric vehicles as we know. And we know that transportation as a whole is expensive for many households. Transportation only accounts for about 15% of household expenditures. In Phoenix, it's closer to 19%. It depends on the city. We also know that housing typically about 35% as well. So when you combine housing plus transportation, you're looking at about half a paycheck and half of household expenditures, which is significant. So one thing to call out here is just that there's a lot of opportunity here to bridge this access gap on the economic side of things. And really, we think that the one solution that can be discussed more, and really we're excited to bring to the table, is that technology can help bridge that access. And we bridge that access through enabling a shared mobility platform of electric vehicles. So we want to bring electric vehicles to your curb and not to your driveway. So that's really the goal here of what the promise of shared economics for electric vehicles. Point number 2 on powering them with renewable energy. So I'm really excited to share that Waymo powers our vehicles with 100% renewable electricity. We accomplish this through a couple different ways. One, we partner with utilities. Secondly, we partner with our charging partners to accomplish that. So sometimes that means working with the utility to buy that energy directly. Other times that means buying renewable energy certificates that's unavailable. So really excited about it, and there's going to be continued progress in that space. So we want to make sure that we're not trading a tailpipe for a pipe somewhere else. We want to deliver a true solution. And then, thinking a little bit broadly about that and thinking about the entire supply chain of that, or value chain, is that you can buy renewable energy upstream, and one thing that we can do as well is solve for charging. So we know that charging is a hard solution for a hard challenge for some folks to get over, depending on your living situation. If you live at home, it's great. Charge your phone overnight. If you don't, then maybe there's other challenges for you to make that jump. And when you have Waymo, the idea is that we solve for charging for you. So we're buying the renewable energy upstream, we're charging it. You don't need to worry about this. We're really bringing electric vehicle service to your curb, and it's all been solved for you. So really excited about that package solution, that opportunity. I think it's just a very exciting thing in the sustainability space to be in now to think about the prospect of shared EVs. So also we think that there's some benefits relating to convenience service as well. So you don't have to worry about charging the vehicle or with your student charges or things like that. Self-charging. Switching gears a little bit to my third point of shared mobility. So how many of you have ever heard of the stat that the average car is parked 95% of the time? So this is my favorite statistic, and it's one that I didn't personally know until a few years ago. And now when I walk down the street, I often look at cars differently. So if there's one thing you remember from this presentation, I think this is the number one statistic, because everything comes when you think about transportation economics. So cars are parked 95% of the time, and that's a staggering number when you think about it. So there's about 290 million vehicles in the U.S., and there's estimated 2 billion parking spaces in the U.S. So almost 7 to 1, depending on city, community. Some are higher, much higher than that, some are much lower. But all this to say is that there's a lot of parking, both physically and the car itself. So from a sustainability perspective, I think of this as the car really only being used about 5% of the time. So there's a tremendous opportunity to continue to drive utilization of that asset. And when I think of sustainability, I think of increasing utilization of everything that we make. So that I think is something that we can all kind of agree on from a sustainability opportunity perspective. So this is a great opportunity where autonomous driving technology can come in and drive the utilization of each electric vehicle for the communities that we operate. So really excited about that opportunity. And to take it a step further, when you think about that utilization curve and how to increase the utilization of each electric vehicle, we think that we can deliver 4 times the amount of zero emissions miles per EV in the communities that we serve. So that's a really interesting thing to then dissect again and think about, what's that mean? And I think there's 2 outcomes to that really can provide direct benefits to communities. One is that we're able to transition to EVs faster. So we're able to take that 4x of miles per year and accelerate the EV transition. So we know that we have a long way to go in solving for climate change, reducing emissions. It's going to take some time. And whatever opportunity we have to increase that, I think it's worth considering and seeing how we can continue to make progress there. Secondly, I think it's important to remember on electric vehicles that there's a lot of critical minerals that goes into them. we're hearing more and more about supply chains after COVID than any of us have ever heard before COVID. And that's just something to be mindful of that also expands into the electric vehicle space. So electric vehicles have, they have cobalt, copper, chips, graphite, nickel, all the things that we've heard about with batteries ahead of time. And that's, it's important to think about as we look at our long-term EV goals, our energy transition, that there are a lot of demands on the horizon for electric vehicle materials and batteries in particular. So this is going to continue to increase. We know that electric vehicles are going to be the number one consumer of lithium and other critical minerals. So we think that, again, to go back to the shared EV, shared mobility point, if you're able to share these assets, drive utilization, then you're able to get a lot more out of the things that we are manufacturing and help achieve these goals of reducing emissions. So I hope that after today's presentation, you still think of me as a supporter of personally driven electric vehicles and the promise they have to reduce emissions. Again, there's a lot of benefits for personal EVs. We know that they reduce local air pollution. We know that they have less maintenance. We know that they have a total lower cost of ownership for owners. So there's significant benefits that they can provide. We know that there's incentives, more and more incentives available for folks to continue to transition to electric vehicles. It's very exciting. Inflation Reduction Act last year. Never been so excited about tax in my life. So I think it's wonderful. And what I'd like to just kind of stack next to this is when I think of shared autonomous electric vehicles and the benefits that we can derive when we think about shared EV mobility, right? So we're both reducing local air pollution. Fantastic. But when we start to think about the utilization of that asset, so delivering over 4x miles per year for each EV that's on the road, fantastic. We're able to connect many more people with electric vehicles. We're powering them with 100% renewable energy. We, of course, want to be a good citizen, we would say, and make good use of the grid's assets and do that. So we want to make real efficient use of EV critical minerals. So again, 6 times the amount of critical minerals go to electric vehicles than gas chemical. So real opportunities there to share them and drive that utilization. We think that there's an opportunity to make them more accessible to folks that are unable to purchase an EV. So it's much easier to pay $15 for a ride in an EV than it is to make a significant financial decision to purchase one. So I think there's a lot of opportunities there for that. Earlier point, I think that autonomous driving technology can make safer streets for pedestrians and bicyclists. So as someone that walks and bikes pretty often, looking forward to that day when I don't have to have my own personal LiDAR on my head spinning around and looking to see if anything's going to encroach in my area. To say that our fleet isn't reliant on public charging infrastructure, so again, we're solving for that behind Lenz and a fleet depot. I think this one's really interesting, thinking about consumers and making the EV jump. Our riders can have range anxiety or battery warranty issues or any sort of consumer issue that you get handled when you're making a big financial decision about purchasing an EV. Do I want to wait a couple of years because there's going to be more range in this EV or because there's better battery coming out? I don't want to be the first consumer of this sort of thing. So again, hopefully our riders won't have those concerns. And lastly, it's a shared mobility service. So sometimes we think of services as ride hailing, and there's different names out there, but the idea of the shared mobility service is that it's a team sport. So the more options that are available to you to take a shared mobility service, the more likely you are to take that. So I always think of, when I go to work in the morning, I take a bus, take a train home. I think it's wonderful that you can use these different options to get to where you need to go, depending on what time of day. But lastly, to say that I think that if we remove parking from the situation, there's a lot of opportunities to align with local housing and parking policies. So there's a lot of space in the road, but it is finite. And there's only so much opportunity to install bike lanes or to make roadways dedicated for buses or trams, or it's just a finite kind of inside of the curb area. And as we remove parking or have the ability to do that because people don't need to necessarily park in these areas, then it frees up some opportunity. We'll also say that when it comes to housing, parking can be a significant expense. So there's opportunities there as well when we look at housing developments that have maybe a tier or a story or two of parking underneath a multi-tenant development, something like that. So we would urge us all to keep that in mind as we look into the future and these different benefits. So I think with that, I'm going to shamelessly pull out the slide again and encourage you all to download the app if you haven't done so already. I hope that you look at Waymo now as a shared EV service and something that is a truly sustainable option for you to get to where you need to go. I hope that we're putting a face to the company that you see around town, and really hope that you can look at these look at streets differently and think about the possibilities of being to use those assets efficiently in a shared way and really make communities more sustainable with great mobility options for folks. So with that, really want to thank you for your time, and we'd love to take some questions.
All right, let's get them loud and proud.
Hey, thanks for coming out, and I wanted to give a shout out. Thank you to Waymo. You guys helped sponsor the Willow Historic District in downtown Phoenix recently, so I love what you guys are doing in the community. On sustainability, you guys are racking up miles 4 times faster. How are you thinking about recycling the batteries of the cars? Is that a close partnership with DriveWire? Is that somebody like with materials? How are you guys thinking about that?
Yeah, that's a great question. So a couple of the big picture, I think it's a wonderful opportunity to use that battery really quickly and then recycle it, right? So it's maybe moving the vehicle like our specific guys were used for a handful of years. We're achieving over an 86% recycling rate of the car plus the battery with our recycling partners, so we are looking at that. So it's going to be a circular community strategy to recycle those cars, both what they call the carcass, the recycling partners that we have, and the battery. So again, trying to close that loop and get those materials back into cars so we continue to iterate and make bigger, better batteries and make the system go around. So yeah, great question. The whole car. So yeah, it's more of a when we're done with that car, typically it's a different generation of the driver, and then we need to upgrade it as well, and that includes the hardware. That's why the DriveWire is our latest technology. Great question.
All right, for the renewable energy unit in the picture, so can you maybe use words to describe what that looks like, what the charging stations look like, and how do you confirm is it solar, is it wind, etc. And what's your plan for growth on that? And do you have any intentions to expand usage for other electric fleets as part of that?
Great question. So what that looks like now is, again, we're still at the early stages. We've had electric vehicles in our fleet now for a couple of years, but we're still, like everyone, learning to operate an electric vehicle fleet. Like I think everyone in the space is kind of figuring it out. That being said, we partner with utilities to do that when that is a possibility, and it's not. Well, I'll start with that. When it is a possibility, you can enroll in a utility program to pay a premium for 100% renewable electricity. Personally, I think that's the best way to go about it because really you're contributing to a rate base within a utility for that utility then to go meet power needs within that area. So I think it's a preferred approach to work within a rate base to do that, and right, Waymo in the public sector is doing more of that. That's where I come at this point. And then on what this looks like is we have a charging depot that it's a tech garage that we have put in a garage there to just update our technology and our sensors, but then also do regular vehicle stuff with charging there, and it's a regular it's a charge station. But I think it's interesting to think about we're on this curve now of software testing plus commercial deployments, and graduating more towards commercial deployments, and for instance in East Valley and Phoenix right now. And most people really want to hail rides, just like people would do in Lenz, conditioning, kids are turning on laptops, all that stuff. So a lot of grid stress that happens. It's also when the sun goes down and solar stops producing as much. But I think it's a real opportunity for us to be, again, a good citizen, not to keep using that, to charge our vehicles ahead of time and get those cars out there at that point in time to pick people up, take them where they need to go, and really work with the grid in that way. So all this to say is that when it comes to renewable energy, it's not just about like enrolling a program. It's about what time of day you're pulling those electrons off the grid and putting them into your cars. So that's a really interesting opportunity to pursue that. We're pretty fortunate to
one of the other things that we're known for here in Arizona is education, right? And education reform, like to say, with the birthplace of the charter school, I happen to be on a board where they're doing modernization of transportation for education. So what happens after the yellow school bus? And many conversations end up turning into ride-sharing apps like Waymo. And I was sharing with Adam when we had a chance to get to know each other that this person that's on the board with me was talking about putting his kid in a Waymo and taking him to school. We both have a 2-year-old, so I was like, there's cameras in the car, so you can see the kids, make sure they're not doing anything. But then I'm like, you want to yell at them? You can't, you're not there, right? Or your 2-year-old, because they have Waymo car keys. Okay, just let that go on in your head for a minute, right? Crazy, but I imagine that would be the future.
I think you need a robotic arm to pick up the boy.
Right, yeah, or the goldfish that just go, Not me. Let's put it together for Adam.